It might already be there.
I think
I'm
yeah, I
not
think
sure.
the link you sent me is already attendees, teams, Dreamhack Leipzig, Rocket League. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, that's one highlight. Okay, so we're gonna start over, guys. This is for YouTube. It might be for Wave's YouTube as well. I don't know, but we're
Oh
here.
yeah.
Me and Wavefunk. It's just me on webcam. Sorry, guys, but Wavefunk is pretty, but he's too
Oh
pretty.
yes.
We're here to talk about the DreamHack rosters that have just been announced. Now, a lot of these teams are going to be playing in the qualifiers, and the qualifiers don't necessarily mean that you can't go to DreamHack. Like, I would assume a lot of these teams are still going to go to DreamHack. It depends on probably like if the orgs want to send them, if these teams have big orgs. But 2 teams will qualify from North America, and 2 will qualify from Europe after this weekend, and they will get all expenses paid trip and also really good seeding in the actual DreamHack tournament. But the rest can still just go on their own. It's an open tournament. Feel free. So, let's go down the big rosters. I'm going to be mostly talking about the RLCS rosters because that's probably the most important. So we're going to scroll down here. We see a lot of teams, yada, yada, a lot of European teams. No one cares. You're not in the RLCS. I kid. One note, of course, is Juicy Kids with Jazer. He's going over there, so that's going to be fun to watch. Lots of Jazer fans out there. And now Team Envy, exact same roster. And some people were probably speculating, hey, maybe Greasy swaps it up again. But they have been saying on Twitter, and pros lie a lot, but they have been saying on Twitter a lot that this is going to be the same squad. We're not going to change anything. Greasy, Remco, Devo. But I think they just underperformed last season. I think they're a better team than what they showed. And I expect them to have a chance to make World Championships again. Say this team stays the same for RLCS Season 5.
I want to know what they've been doing in the off season because like they didn't have just one bad tournament; they had like a bad year. You know, like all their tournaments were bad.
I mean, like
Atlanta
during
was,
the
like,
summer,
best
they
results
did
they
well.
had.
Like during the summer, they just kept losing to Gale Force in the semifinals, and I think that's why they brought Greasy on. It was just like they couldn't get over that hump, and then they just had a bad league play. But they showed up against PSG. Like, what happens if they would have got 2 more wins somewhere where they lost in close series? Like, they didn't play that great. To be fair, their stats were abysmal, but they did show up against PSG, and I think that was like more of the envy that we were expecting to see. They also played like Fnatic really closely in that promotion tournament, and I think Fnatic's another one of those teams that has a chance to fight for a world championship spot. Like, Europe is weird like that. It's been a long off season. Who knows? Maybe things are starting to click. I think it really comes down to, can Greasy and Remco control the pace and then allow Devo to do Devo things? And it didn't seem to work last time, but we'll see. But, Wave, here's 2 really big ones right here. Rogue is Sizz, Insolences, and Moses. Everyone expected that Insolences would be the one out, but it looks like it went the opposite way, and their best player, and I think in most minds, was Matt. Matt looks to be leaving for greener pastures, going to Ghost, which is the team right below them. So this is like Insolences and Moses team. Like, what do you think of them?
It isn't. I feel like this must mean that Matt wanted to leave. That Matt felt like he could play better with less than Zane. Because like, why would they cut Matt? Like, I agree, he's the best player.
He probably left on his own to join Ghost, I would think.
I'm also just amazed that Jacob isn't on this roster, mainly because of how well he and Sizz played together in the Universal Open. I felt like that would be a natural duo there. I was excited for Sizz, Jacob, Matt, but that's not what's happening here. So Moses, this will be a shame. I'm glad to see he's still starting, but he's been I've been waiting to see Moses in a return to form for a while, you know?
Yeah, he's probably my most questionable player besides the players from like Allegiance and stuff like that. And maybe a little bit of Out of Style, maybe a little bit with Epic Johnny and Lachino. Like, Moses has never really wowed me, so I think this is a major downgrade from Matt, because Matt, I would say, is one of the best players in North America, and now with even more talent around him, it's going to be insane. Like, I think that Matt plus Lethamyr combo is going to be insane, and I think it's weird, because for Rogue, I think it's a definite downgrade, and that's kind of unfortunate for them because they finished 5th just outside the World Championship, and it's going to be a tough run for them. Like, say this is their roster going into RLCS Season 5. It's going to be tough for them to break into that top 4 because the team they're probably trying to catch, which is probably Ghost, just picked up their best player. So now it's Lethamyr, Matt, and Zane Jackie. And personally, I think Classics had a better year than Zane Jackie, but I think Matt plays that exact same role as Classics, but just better.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why they stayed.
I feel like he's a safer play than Classics as well. Like,
yes,
Zane is so so consistent in his rotations, and I think that you take out the like, oh, is he gonna go for bumps or is he gonna go back sort of play, and you put in Matt, who would be a little bit more consistent. Maybe my brain says he might be a better communicator. I don't actually know that. I've never heard either of their comms, but I feel like this is going to be a much more consistent roster.
So I think with because like I think the roster would be kind of weird if it was still Classics here instead of Zane, because Zane is known as that third man. Then it would be a question of like who is the third man. Like Lethamyr at times plays that third man as well. And then you probably would have said, all right, Matt and Classics up front and Lethamyr playing back. But Lethamyr is such a good talent to have that I want him more involved on the offensive side. I want him to touch the ball as much as possible. So
this is interesting because Leth and Zane, like you said, like they both can play a strong 3. Yeah. And if you have 2 strong 3s and then you have a great 1 in Matt, and either one of Lethamyr or Zane can be a good 2 or 1, like it's a very flexible roster, and I think that makes it really strong. Having the 2 players who are good as a 3, not just 1 player who's going to be the consistent third, I think makes them a lot more dangerous.
And then for like FlyQuest going forward a little bit here, Tuster is in for AJ. I think AJ might be under the age limit, so that's why they're not playing with him. Because like technically FlyQuest signed AJ like as their roster, so you would expect that not to change. Dreamhack? It is 16. I'm not sure what AJ's age is. Maybe someone in chat knows. I think AJ might be 15 or even probably 15, but I'm not positive. So hopefully someone knows in chat.
That's RLCS's age limit too, isn't it?
Is 15. Not 16. Like Dreamhack is 16, so it is a little weird. Like we're gonna lose some of these players. That's why a player like Justin is not going.
Right.
But so this FlyQuest roster, like I really do like the Wonder Thunder squad with Prime Thunder and Wonder, but also Air, their third from the rival series last time. He had a really good season, but I think they're still trying to find like that great third that really like sets them apart. Like they were 2 Game 5s away from going to the promotion tournament. They almost made it, and so they're just looking for that tiny bit of a bump up. Here it looks like they're playing with Tuster, and Tuster, he keeps surprising. He had some more like upset wins last night, like in the Ting Open with his other squad. So like Tuster's not a bad player at all. Follow him on Twitter. I say this every time. But FlyQuest is one of those teams. Like we saw them. What was it? Dreamhack Atlanta. I believe they also made it to the round of 8. So like they're a team to watch out for.
I'm trying to remember who they beat, because they had a few upset victories that were really cool.
AJ is 15, D-Pants says. So that makes sense why they're using Tuster here. So good to know. And yeah, I'm trying to think who they beat at Dreamhack Atlanta.
I can pull it up really fast here on Dreamhack Wiki.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
There it is. So they were in a group. What was their name at the time?
Maybe Ambition or maybe
Ambition. Yeah, because they were in a group with Envious. Does not show group matches.
We definitely saw them on stream,
they
but I don't
lost
know
to Envy.
Okay.
They won 2 games against the last Airbenders. They won 2 games against them. Why do they have to play them twice? I guess.
It's the way it works. It's a double limb groups. I'll look it up.
Weird.
Or I'll try and help here.
See, the last Airbenders, it doesn't actually show who was on that team. I don't remember. Okay, I thought they had more victories than that. Oh, no, then they qualified for the bracket. That's right.
Yeah, so they had to beat someone to get there.
Man, how did this happen? So they had to play Envious in their group.
Yeah.
Round 2 groups. Was there something different here? Yes. I'm remembering how this match went. They beat Genesis.
Wave Funk is struggling. Oh, they beat Genesis and Renegades. Okay.
And Renegades.
So that's not a bad group at all.
Yeah. No, if I forgot that it seeded into another round of groups. So the funny thing is they lost twice to Envious in round 1, and then they had to play Envious in the playoffs, and they lost there too.
Gotcha. Yeah, so they beat Genesis 3-2, and that was like this was that group of death kind of situation.
Yeah.
With those 3 squads. But they made it out of there, and it's still Prime Thunder and Wonder, and then they were playing with Pepiopi. And now, they just keep changing their third. They're trying to find something to get them to the RLCS, but they're definitely a team to watch out for. Prime Thunder was playing great yesterday at the Ting Open, but the rest of the squad really didn't show up as well, I thought. And they lost to Yikes, which was Turtle's squad, the old amphibian team. So it was close games. Well, at least one of the games was extremely close, but hey, it happens. But they're a team, like, spoiler alert, like, you don't want them in your groups because you think, like, they can pop off at any time. So, got to be careful with them. Next up, B2 Esports Athena is playing. They're going to the finals. We already know.
It's clearly.
We don't even have to talk about them.
Clear carry from Potato, your cousin.
Potato.
Potato.
Yeah, he's my southern cousin. Potato.
Potato.
But the next team, Equinox. So we were talking about top four for RLCS for North America, and Equinox is also in that conversation as well. So again, like a team like Rogue, it seems like Equinox got a major upgrade here for Sad Jr. And poor Sad Jr. First, like Jacob kicks him from his team.
Yeah.
Then he replaces him on his new team. Like, ouch. Man, Jacob has it in for Sad Jr., but this squad looked extremely good yesterday. Like at the Teen Open, they swept G2 3-0 in the semifinals.
Dang.
And honestly, like Jacob wasn't even playing that well yet. So if he starts playing better, like Chrome was popping off, which we don't expect that usually. Like Chrome is usually that one that's like consistent but average, but he was popping off. So this squad is one to watch out for. I really like the idea of Corrupted G and Jacob and then Chrome going for demos. Like this squad looks really good on paper, and it's just fun to see Jacob playing like with some new teammates.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see him with just literally anybody else because he's never we've just seen him with the same roster. They've been the longest roster in like forever. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. This next one, I'm like, do you think Marky is better than Zenzis?
That's what I wonder too. Like Marky definitely brings that experience, and I think that does help. And like Marky, like he's even said himself, he plays extremely slow. Like he's starting to get passed up based on the speed of the game. But Zenzis didn't have a bad season, if I can remember off the top of my head. He did really well. So that's why it's a little surprising. But I would say Niels Cook and Pondex are probably the better mechanical players. So like if you're gonna replace anyone, it would be Zenzis. But Marky, I think is more for the experience. I think it's more for like the leadership / experience. Yeah. But I just don't know. Like I think the squad really didn't do enough for me to like put them in the conversation in that entire region of Europe where it's completely stacked. Yeah. Like I still see them as like maybe one of the more bottom teams. But they can come out with some surprise wins. But it's going to be really fun to see Marky, see maybe like if he's getting back on that grind. I feel like he got a little lazy on flip side at times, and he doesn't practice as much as some of the other players. But maybe on a new squad, he's putting in that work, and who knows? Maybe we'll see a brand new Marky in 2018.
Yeah, maybe, and we'll see. I'm just excited to watch this team. They're a big old question mark for me right now.
Yeah, it should be fun. And then we'll move it on to Guess Who? Pashy, Freaky Fairy. Like a lot of this European squads are going to be the same. Now, honestly, I thought they should have got the invite over PSG when they were doing all those invite things going on, because they had a great performance at E-League, and PSG, like their best performance was gnarly. Yeah. And I guess I could say like World Championship, the old Mocket squad, didn't do that well, so maybe they put a little bit more faith into that. Because I think the invites went out even before E-League, which I thought was a mistake. Like if you're gonna wait this long anyway, just wait for that anyway. So I thought they should have been in anyway. I hope they qualify. They're probably waiting on a big org anyway. They're probably gonna get that big org, and they're basically local to this tournament, like at least Pashy is. So
James Bot says we just got to check on Marky's hours. Like how much has he played?
Yeah, true. That's a good idea, but I don't even know if I have Marky in my friends list. Like knowing him, he probably deleted everyone. Yeah, probably just burned all bridges. I'll see if I can find him. If you want to talk a little bit about them.
No, I don't care.
Oh, I'm looking.
Not gonna make a difference for me.
Let's see. Okay, well, he's not using this account.
That's the other thing, is they don't even like just play on the
True, he might be using some other account, because he last played Rocket League on December 14th, which doesn't make sense. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Maybe he's just like in it for the free ride. He's like, you know what? Excel's going to pay me some good money. I'm here for a season. I know I'm going to suck. Yeah. And I'm just going to take this money and walk away. And that would definitely be a Marky thing to do. So we'll see.
That does sound like him.
But Guess Who? Like, I really like this one. Like, they've been performing better and better. Like, as the LAN time came out, like, them and G2 are very similar, where they both have been improving a lot towards the.
I really hope they don't make any roster changes. I hope they just stay the same. I really like this team a lot.
Some people are saying he's using his other account, and that makes sense. Like, I don't think he hasn't played Rocket League since December 14th. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. So, okay, we're moving down. NRG, like this one should be a fun squad to watch. I know this doesn't really mean anything, but this also basically confirms that it is Justin that is going to join Energy because he's 15, so he can't play in this tournament. And unless there's some other 15-year-old they're picking up, it's very likely Justin.
Unless Cloud9 is making a terrible decision in cutting Torment.
Yeah, but they have said on Twitter that's like, hey, we're only doing this for this because Squishy couldn't go because he's missed a lot of school, and maybe Gimmick couldn't go either. Who knows? So Torment coming in, and this should be just fun to watch, like a pickup squad almost, a very talented pickup squad. So they should do pretty well. But Energy as a whole, I think Justin, I want to see what he brings. Like, I think online he'll be fine, but he hasn't been to any of these live events. So, like, if Energy does make it to some of these other live events and they bring Justin, they're going to need to get him kind of, like, acclimated. And Energy is known to be pretty nervous at live events. They have shown some, like, uncharacteristic misses and stuff like that. And that includes Garrett G from the last World Championship, which was surprising to me because he's been so great at other live events. So I'm a little worried about them that they might lose some of that like laid back like atmosphere from Jacob. But who knows how that is actually in game.
I don't know. I feel like Torment's maybe that entire Cloud9 roster is the most laid back group of people you've ever met. Like they don't even talk. So
yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I do think he's definitely a different vibe. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like, I think Torment will be fine for them. I'm worried more about when Justin comes out for like World Championships.
Justin's
so
I met him at LAN. He walked up to me and introduced himself, and of course, he's like, "Hi, I'm Justin" or whatever, and I was like, it took me just a second to click, like, "Oh, that Justin," because like he just looked like a normal fan just walking up because he wasn't in a jersey, and I'd never seen his face before. It was kind of those like, it's easy to forget just how brand new to the scene Justin and Epic Johnny are when it comes to like this level of Rocket League. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Yeah, but that squad is definitely going to be one to watch out for from the qualifiers. They have a very good chance to qualify even just straight through there, but they'll be there either way, I assume. I assume Cloud9 will send out Torment. Now, I wonder, will Torment wear his Cloud9 jersey? Because it's weird. The name is Energy.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved it like if it was like CRG or something. Like if they would have mixed the names.
NR9.
Yeah, or something like that, but they're going under NRG, so I wonder, does Torment wear an NRG jersey? I doubt it. But then it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be 2 Energy and 1 Cloud9 jersey. But
yeah, they should like get one of those things that like moms that have kids that go to 2 different schools get, where they like split the shirt in half, like cut a jersey in half and like sew the 2 halves together.
Or Cloud9 came out with those like T-Mobile jerseys that are like pinkish. Torment should wear that because it matches the colors of NRG. That would make more sense. So maybe that. Like, I don't like that color at all because I love the light blue of Cloud9. But hey,
yeah. So how was Applesauce last night?
Applesauce, we saw them play FlyQuest, and they looked pretty strong. They beat them pretty handily, but then they got 2-0'd by Cloud9. So that was off stream, so we didn't see that match. But we'll see how they go. Like this is one of those squads. Like it's an upgrade for sure. Like in Turtle, but I wonder because Turtle obviously didn't play as much throughout the season. Like normally, like when a sub is playing, or you have a sub for a season, he's obviously playing a lot more casually. Like he knows he's not really going to play the game. So we'll see how Turtle shakes out. He looked pretty good, though, when I saw him on stream. So this squad is one of those, like, another rival series contender for a promotion spot. And they should be because they went 7-0 last time and just choked. So the old Fibian squad.
See how Turtle returns to being a starter.
Yeah. I like the idea of Turtle passing to Chicago. Yeah. It's very similar to when Turtle was passing to Garrett. So I think that should help a lot.
I think it'll be good. I'm hoping the time down is like lit a fire underneath him, and like he'll be like, I want to play again, and he'll show up with a lot of good energy.
So Torment,
hello, Dead Man. They played in the Ting Open last night.
Torment said he's wearing a C9 jersey. You should get the T-Mobile pink C9 jersey, Torment. You need to plan this out. So work on that, Torment. And I want shout outs. Even though I'll be on the desk next to you, like when we're doing like interviews, I still want a shout out from me. Because I called it last time that Cloud9 would beat Energy. So I want more shoutouts. But so going from Applesauce, we go down to Splice next. We saw Splice on air versus G2 in the Teen Open. G2, again, they weren't playing all that well in my mind, like at the Teen Open, but Splice kept it extremely close. And they actually had the reverse Rizzo shot versus Take 3 where it hit the crossbar at 0 seconds and landed on the goal line for a tie. Sathu had the same exact shot. to tie the game versus G2, but it landed on the goal line at 0 seconds, so they didn't score it to tie.
Rip.
But Karma, Do With The Nose, and Sathu, like players everyone's heard of. Like obviously, Do With The Nose made a name for himself at DreamHack Atlanta. So this is an interesting squad. Again, one of those like bubble rival series teams, and I wonder if they will actually go though. Like Sathu did say he wants to meet me or is excited to meet me, so I guess Splice is sending these guys out even if they don't qualify. So that's pretty cool to see. And I assume the same with Applesauce because like. They'll probably have to like dig through the earth to get to Germany, but they'll find a way to get there. They'll find a way. I'm pretty sure they'll be there as well.
I mean,
so
Splice should be fun. That'll be easy.
You ruined the joke, Wave. I was talking about Dignitas.
Oh, I did not get it. Did not get it at all. Went straight over my head.
I was about to call you Axotos, but because I don't think he got it the other day. I was like, yeah, Alex Toss. Anyway,
all right,
moving on.
All these Justice teams.
Oh yeah, I love these test teams. Like, yeah, they're just testing stuff. Team Secret, Tylacto, I Ignite Flame. I actually had a really embarrassing moment the other day on stream. It's been a long off season, and I purposely tried to push some Rocket League out of my head because like there was a lot in there. Tylacto hosts me on stream. And I just had a brain fart and couldn't think if he was on Secret or Allegiance. So I was like, oh, are you excited for a Teen Open? I know. It was terrible. I had the biggest brain fart, and I felt so bad. And but yeah, Team Secret will be there with iGnite instead. So he's a very solid player. And Continuum, he retires. And honestly, he put a nice tweet about his retirement. I retweeted it. He's a good guy. He's been around for a long time. So... I'm happy that he had the career he had at least, and hopefully he's happy that he's, like taking a step back.
Yep, makes sense. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, it's one of those like, we'll see. Like I think Team Secret had a lot of issues last season, but it's hard in the European region because like all the talent is so consolidated like at the top that it's going to be really hard to break in at this point.
Man, okay, so when you go to this next page, it's just all the big dogs.
Yeah. Speaking of talent from the European region, here we go. Snasky, Sicky, and Maestro. Like, it might have been the best thing to happen to them to go down to the rival series. They seem to improve so much. Their passing plays are on point. Like, I think sometimes they go for a little bit too much passing plays, and I wonder if teams, when they figure that out, can kind of be aggressive around that and kind of like cancel out some passes. But Maestro, one of my favorite players to watch. I'm really excited to see him back like out of LAN and just back in like the major competitive scene. And, that seems really fun to watch.
I'm excited. I feel like I haven't actually really seen them play since the qualifier. I don't have any reason to think anything will change. If anything, like you said, going into RLRS had to have been a wake up call, and we'll see them just not take anything for granted at this point. I think that they'll just be playing lights out at this point.
Yeah. Should be a lot of fun to watch them. And of course, G2, they will be there no matter what. They got the invite, the only North America team to get an invite because the other one was supposed to go to Cloud9, and Cloud9 couldn't go. So G2 heading out there, the E-League Cup champions. But the past two online tournaments, they have not fared too well. They lost to Equinox and Ambition. So we'll see how they look. They looked a little shaky for sure. Last night, like in the Teen Open, kind of seemed like the old G2 where like Rizzo's making some bad wall clears. Kronovi and JNaps can't really figure it out on the offensive side at times, but they were their defense is always on point where they limit shots a lot. The problem was they just weren't scoring any goals. Like JNaps didn't have any of those solo plays, so I expect them to bounce back. The Kronovi, I think they said they're going to a house in Germany and boot camping, probably a G2 house, and they're going to boot camp. And honestly, like if there's any team to put faith into, like right before a live event, it's Kronovi and a boot camp because he's done it multiple times, and they always look so much better when they show up to these events. So don't count them out whatsoever.
Love it.
Love it. Next up. PSG, another invite again. I thought they shouldn't have got the invite over Mocket, but I mean, they're pretty worthy as well. Farrah, Bluey, and Shawset. Going to be excited to see them on the pitch once again.
And these guys have always been like my favorites. I'm not going to lie. This is like my favorite team to root for.
It's definitely that like underdog story where no one expected them to do that well, like last league play, and they've kind of skyrocketed towards the top. And the players themselves too, like Farrah and Shawset. No one expected anything from them. They were like kind of the third best on their teams, and then Bluey coming out of nowhere, like he couldn't make it the last season, probably because he was playing with Doomsy, but now he's here and he's playing out of his mind. So,
I feel like they are one of those teams that just like nobody ever picks. That's part of the reason.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true. I still don't pick them. Yeah,
they're still underrated, and they still get victories consistently. You know?
Yeah, I did pick them over Cloud9 at the World Championship, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But they're still one of my teams that's like, they're not on the same level as Ghost, but I think they slightly overperform right now. And like, I think this season for the European region is going to be really tough. There's so many talented teams. I could see PSG falling out and going to like a 5th or 6th. But at the same time, we could see them go like 7-0. Who knows at this point. Speaking of 7-0, Method, they have a good chance. Metsonoris, Magnus a lot. They've been the longest active roster in all of Rocket League, I guess, right? Yeah, all of Rocket League now. Yeah.
I mean, I guess G2's up there as well.
Oh, no, yeah, true, G2. But the longest active roster in Europe, at least. Yeah. And they've been very inconsistent. Like, they finally got over that live 3v3 sudden at the World Championship and played really well. But then they fell right back down to it at E-League. And again, it was a 3-way tie, so you can't really fault them too much. But they did come in last, technically, like out of their group.
Yeah.
But they're always a threat.
Yeah, right now I feel like they are consistently the number 2 team in Europe and sometimes the world, just depending on the day. But like they're just them versus Gale Force is in my mind that's the classic right now. That is If there's a match that's like, oh, this is the best match we can watch in Rocket League, that's probably it.
Yeah, like I think you have to throw Cloud9 in that conversation at times. Yeah. Like Cloud9, I think is the second best team in the world just because of how they're more consistent than Method. But when Method is on point, like they're right up there. Like all 3 of those teams, like anytime we can see those 3 teams play, it's always a treat. Which kind of sucks because we won't see Cloud9 at this event, but we'll see some of them with tournament. And then of course Gale Force, like everyone is gunning for them, but this is their tournament to lose. Basically, they should win this. Violent Panda, Turbo, and K-Dop, they're the best team in Europe. Probably their fiercest competition is Method and possibly G2. Like if they boot camp once again, they look a little shaky in the offseason, but honestly, no one's really playing throughout this offseason. And that's another thing. With all of these teams, we haven't seen any of them really play all that much. So we don't really know who's improved or who took too long of a holiday break and now is like, like a little iffy. So things can change drastically. And I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch these guys battle it out, and most of these guys will still play in the qualifiers, but like obviously Gale Force, Method, PSG, and G2 will not. So it'll be a little while until we see them play.
Yeah, I mean, 2017 was Gale Force's year, and this is their best chance to like come out and make a strong statement in 2018 that nothing's changed, that they're sticking around. You know, their worst placement was at Gnarly. Other than Gnarly, they've come in at least second every time. So if they don't make it to the finals, that's a big deal.
Who said Cloud Gaming? Did I say Cloud Gaming? I might have. I don't know.
No, there's just this last team that doesn't even have a full team.
Oh, I thought people were just making fun of us because we called Cloud9 Cloud Gaming.
No, it's this last team.
Gotcha.
Gaming.
They need more members, man. So wait, me and you got to play. So
that's right.
We're ready to go. But so here's the main teams here. But so North America, we're finally starting to see where these roster swaps are happening. These long rumored roster swaps. Europe. We basically knew the one roster swap that was going to happen for a long time, thanks to Niels Cook's girlfriend. So hats off to her. I don't know her name, but good job. So the only roster change for Europe was Marky. He's out from Flipside, and he's over to Excel. And Yukio is trying out for Flipside. And Flipside, for some reason, is not on this list, but they will be there as well with Yukio. So maybe they're just not in that part of it. But I'm pretty sure they're going, or at least playing in the qualifiers, because I think they've said that. So, and it'd be weird for them not, because it's so close to them anyway. So let me see if I can find them. But that's the only swap in Europe for at least the RLCS purposes. And then on North America, everything is changing. And right now, it looks like every team is going to be still there, I believe. I'm trying to think of the teams. So we have Cloud9, we have Energy, we know those rosters, G2. Ghost is bringing in Matt, so they're still a team. At first, for a little while, I was hearing rumors that Rogue could be completely disbanded, and that was a chance. So then, like, Allegiance would be popped back up. But it looks like Sizz, Insol, and Moses are going to be a team. Again, like I would probably put them right near the bottom of the barrel without a style. for those spots. And Out of Style is bringing on Classics as of right now. Again, all of this could change. They are not listed here as well, but they might be going if they get Norg. I honestly don't know. Or at least they'll try and qualify, because why not? Then everything gets paid for, and you don't even need Norg. So,
are you familiar with this Team Rocketeers, Imagine and Mask and ELMP? Are you familiar with the other two guys?
Not as well. Like usually the lower end of the Europeans, I'm not as familiar with, just because
for sure.
It's not in our area. But
yeah, I just didn't know. I feel like I've heard of Imagine before. I've never heard of Mask, but I didn't know that they're teaming with ELMP, and like maybe they.
Yeah, I just don't know them well enough.
Yeah.
To really say too much about them. But I'm trying to think what else. So we got Out of Style and Rogue probably near the bottom right now. Say these rosters are the same for RLCS Season 5. Then we got Equinox is coming in with a brand new roster. Right now we saw the Renegades. They used Dapper, Hato, and Miho last night in the Teen Open, but they can't do that for the actual season because Miho, he was a sub. Mm-hmm. So I wonder, is Timmy going back? Because for a while, Timmy was flirting with the Equinox roster. That was the old FlyQuest roster. Yeah. He was flirting with them, playing in a lot of tournaments. But then Jacob became available. So I think Timmy lost out on that spot for Jacob. Does Timmy now go back with his head down and like, hey, guys, sorry, but I need a team?
Yeah, what is happening? I've not heard anything about Renegades right now. Like Dapper and Timmy... Like, what is happening? I expected Dapper to go to NRG. That was kind of the roster change I expected. But
see, I never expected that just because I thought Dapper, he hasn't shown 3v3 ability all that much. At least last season, it wasn't fantastic. Yeah. So I thought Energy, like, if they want to make a major upgrade, it would have to be a major upgrade. And we still don't know if Justin is that. Like, we know his mechanical ability is insane. I still worry about his live atmosphere. But again, you have to at least try him there anyway and try to get him used to it. But, so Renegades, you would assume that Timmy has to come back, because if they don't, they just lose that spot, and then Timmy's not in the RLCS anyway. So why would he not? And Dapper would obviously welcome him back. It's just who's their crappy, third,
but like they need each other.
Exactly, and then their third could be Miho again. Who knows? Maybe he's playing more. Maybe Hato, who just got dropped from Amphibian, will come back. So that's that roster. Who else are we missing here? Then Ghost Gaming, I would say they improved with Matt over Classics. I still think they're right on that bubble. And then I think that's it. That's all the rosters for NA.
I don't know. Out of Style, like you're like Classics is good, but you're replacing Justin on that roster.
Yeah, like I think that's like a downgrade as well. Like I'm not trying to like bash Classics here. Like he had a great season, but it's just I think Matt and Justin are probably both better players than him.
I mean, you heard it like when we were talking about like we had him on overtime. And we were talking about like, oh, well, maybe someone would grab Justin and put him onto a roster, and you can see the light bulb go on his head. I mean, he knows how good Justin is. He understands the value of that player. So.
That was really funny when I said that, and like you saw on his head, like, huh. Maybe
thought about that.
Maybe we can get him. Like, and then lo and behold, he's the one who's getting.
And he's actually replacing his spot.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Very ironic.
A lot of shuffling going on, but it looks like things are starting to settle. Like it seems like Europe is still going to be that region where every game is competitive for the most part. Maybe Excel is not as high up there anymore. It depends how Marky is, but Marky, who knows? He could be having a resurgence here. But on the other side. With NA, it's starting to get more competitive, like 6 teams now or so, or like probably 5. I probably wouldn't put Renegades in that conversation. Like Renegades might be dropping out, but we used to talk about the big 3. It's starting to turn into a big 5 at this point for North America. We got Equinox, Ghost to join G2 and Energy and Cloud9, and it should be a very interesting season if these teams all stay together.
Yeah, it's much more fun when there's not just like 2 teams we expect to win everything, you know? When there's like a lot of variety. So
like one of the things I was kind of confused about for the North America region last season was the season to make roster moves. And I thought there should have been more drastic moves in North America because you were locked into at least 2/3 of that team. And then sure, like if you want to transition everyone out, it's going to take 2 full seasons. So I was surprised that there wasn't more like consolidating of talent. Looks like North America is finally starting to get there. The same with Europe. Problem is, I think there is less talent in North America compared to Europe. So Europe can field 8 strong teams, while I think North America right now is fielding 5-ish. And who knows? Like maybe some of these other guys will surprise. Maybe Renegades can surprise, but. Same with Rogue, because like Sizz had a great season as well. So you never know. But
Yeah.
it seems like they're starting to consolidate the power as well. It just seems like it's in 5 teams instead of 8 from the European side. All right, so here's my last question for you. Even though we technically don't know who's going, give me first, second, third Dreamhack.
First, second, third Dreamhack.
First, second, third.
Well,
there is no third place game, so first, second, and tied for third. So the 2 spots.
Okay, so I get 4 teams.
4 teams.
Gale Force is number 1 until they give me a reason to doubt them. They're number 1.
Okay.
Oh god, who's second?
Stuff. And it also like depends on like how the bracket shakes out. Like if one team gets a really weird loss and they get second place in a group, completely changes everything.
I think I gotta go with Method. The Method again. These rosters are staying the same. North America right now has got stuff to figure out.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna just put G2 and NRG up there in 3rd and 4th for now.
Okay, I like it. Somebody asked, will there be a stream of the qualifier? I think people are trying to work out plans for that. I am not positive if there is going to be a stream, but just keep a lookout on our Twitters and stuff. Yeah. We'll let you know.
Follow me on Twitter to find out.
There you go. Follow WeFunk. Yeah, I would have to say Gale Force. I haven't seen them play in a while, but you know what? I'm going to have a little fun here. I'm going to say NRG second place. I think they're going to have a really good show. And, why not? Have a honeymoon phase where, it doesn't matter how they do here. There's literally no pressure on them. They're going to come in and have some fun. So we're going to go them in second. Now I'm going to change it up even more. We're going Fnatic in a 3rd spot. Man. And I'm going to go Envy in a 3rd spot.
Oh, wow.
So Envy, Fnatic, then NRG, and then Gale Force. So
I can't wait for you to say PSG and really blow me away.
No, PSG could do it, obviously. These teams all could do it. Method, for some reason, I've seen, Method has some inconsistent results here or there, and they might lose a game and put them in a tough bracket and then lose to, a Gale Force, early on, in the quarterfinals. I could easily see that. So I'm going a little wild here, but that's what I'm going with. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and honestly, it's going to be fun to finally say we're going to Dreamhack. So, because we've known for a little while here.
No, people have been asking me in chat for forever, are you going to Dreamhack? But, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I just said no, because I'm if I say maybe, then people are going to be like, oh, then you're going. Because I haven't been to one, so if I say maybe, it's yeah. But it should be a lot of fun. I am not looking forward, though, guys. I have a 5-hour layover for a 1-hour flight. That is not going to be fun. After flying for 10 hours. So I'm going to be dead on the Thursday that we arrive, but I'll be ready for Friday. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Long days.
We have the day we arrived to get over jet lag. That was the one downside. I thought we had more. We'd have a whole day to kind of recover, but nope. Get there. Make sure you take care of it that night because you're screwed the next day.
Yeah. So I'll bring some sleeping pills. That's for sure. That'd probably be a good idea. But I think that's going to do it for this DreamHack qualifier roster update. Now, again, guys, the qualifiers are this weekend. Saturday is the open qualifier. And then Sunday, if they were an RLCS team, or at least 2/3 of an RLCS team, they get a bye right into Sunday, right into the upper bracket of the 16 teams. So there'll be 8 teams in the upper bracket, 8 in the lower bracket. So they get a really big advantage going into Sunday. But again, only top 2 will qualify for DreamHack. And that just means that they get paid flights, paid hotel, and some good seating at the actual event. Everyone else is allowed to go. It doesn't matter where you land. It's an open tournament, basically. You just have to sign up, I believe. I believe that there is a cap to the signups, but I believe if say a Fnatic doesn't qualify, I think they'll make room for them in case they didn't sign up for some reason. So look out for all of these teams. Hopefully every single one of these teams goes, because we want to see some great Rocket League. Probably going to be the most talented event we've ever had. We said that for DreamHack Atlanta last year. But I think this one might top it. The only thing is we don't have Cloud9. That's the only problem.
And also just with the off season,
true. It might be more shaky, but I think all the talent of Rocket League will be here except -2 players from Cloud9.
Yeah, I'm excited. It should be really good.
Yep, the start of 2018 is going to be a good one.
Yep,
and we'll finally get to see how these teams are gelling for North America at least.
Excited.
And it's a European land again, finally. So
There you go. You're
European
welcome.
home field advantage. If they lose on European soil, they got some explaining to do. Putting all the pressure on Gale Force. But thank you, Wave, for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank
This
you
has
for
been a lot of
having me.
fun.
I had people in my chat being like, "Hey, I have to leave because Gibbs is doing a thing about Dreamhack." I'm like, I should do that thing too, and then you won't have to leave.
There you go. And we can just go straight into Rocket League if you want.
I'm down.
I'm down. Let's play some Rocket League. I want to play
I
some
need to boot
Rocket
my game
League.
back up here.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's do it. So that's it for our conversation. If you have questions in chat, feel free to ask them as we play Rocket League. But this will end the YouTube portion. And yeah, thanks for joining me, Whiff.
Thank you.
All right, let's play some Rocket League. Rocket League! Oh, I turned up my sound. I have to turn